everybody, it's Phil the Miniature Model Maker coming to you in this video with more painting, but we've got a whole table full of parts because I just finished making dinner and this was working on all of these guys. I'd stripped them up before dinner our past couple days and I was doing a little cleaning and now we can put the high new back in a safe place. And here we go. Back to painting. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I had a slow day. I'm feeling really tired. So, I don't know. Oh, sorry, Mac. Don't know what's been up with that. But yeah, there's that. And my makeshift palette here. This thing is still going strong, everybody. It's a case from Warpaint's Fanatic, I think, or Speed Paints. But I'm not sure exactly which one it came from, but it's an army painter thing. So you can get a pretty decent wet palette for the price of paints. Or free wet palette with your purchase of paints. Is that how it's going to go? And there we go. Hey, we are in shape now. Doing great. Got that. And I have to make the decision now if I'm going to continue. Well, I think I do need to continue with the sponges, because I haven't finished all of the other parts. And I believe we were at ash gray last time. So we worked up through matte black, deep gray, and uniform gray. And had started doing ash gray. Now where's my little handle? Of course, that one part. I maybe should have done a little bit of preparation before doing this, maybe. That might have been a wise idea. And there we go. Okay. So we're going to take... Let's try something here. Do I have clean... I do have clean sponges. Lots and lots of clean sponges, as a matter of fact. Oh, no, I can't. Not yet. Not till I finish the other parts. Alright, so you're going to go back there. We're going to grab you, squeeze you out, because you're nice and wet. And push you way back down in there. Here we are. And now we got a nice little point again. And a paper towel. And our ash gray. Shake it up, shake it up. And it's a good idea to let paints dry, because they do look different in steps, and I'm noticing things that I like. Oh, and I think maybe I turned off my ambient. Let's see. Yes, I did. Here we go. Now we're back. And we're good. What's up, Diorama? How you doing? I am sponging myself some more. Hope you're doing well today, tonight. Just kind of got a wild hair and decided I was going to do some painting. I haven't done much other hobbying today, so I figured this would be a good thing to do. I'm doing alright. It's been a slow and tiring day. There were some people over at the neighbor's fixing her foundation, which I'm glad for, because my unit is right next to hers. I live in a I live in a townhome. I don't know what you call them in the UK, row house. So it's a building with 4 habitation units in it. Habitation units, homes. And if her foundation starts cracking, then that's going to put pressure on mine, and we don't want that, you know? But you came in at just the right time. I just finished getting set up. And I'm now going through. This is going to be the really tricky part for me, because soon we'll be getting to the light colors, where I'm going to have to do a lot of highlighting and very careful, precise locating. Uh-oh, pop pop. This phase, well, maybe that's why it was $5. Did it break? Or did it just come? Well, now we're going to do some troubleshooting. Okay. Ah, that's what happened. Okay, that's understandable. It just came unscrewed. It's like that first time you have to tear apart an airbrush. And this is interesting. I think that's a way maybe to increase tension. It's a good thing I like this tool so much. Hey, chap. Hello, hello. Joe. Welcome. Looking good. You're going to be painting tomorrow? What are you going to be painting? While I've got this, I'm going to take my sweater off. Ah. Gotcha. Well, if I am if I'm around to be able to see it, I'll definitely check it out. Okay, here we are. It's a me, Mario. That's a spicy meatball. Okay, enough on that. Let's get the arm. Here we go. And why don't I... do I need to zoom in? Would that be better for easier for you guys to see? I don't want to zoom in too much though, because it caused... let's try that. This is the same one I've been painting on, but I've been um, building, doing building and cleaning of different models. Got your silver metallic chrome and white gold metallic paint coming in. That's cool. I just got the Hyakushiki cleaned up. And that means at some point I'll probably be doing a massive gold airbrush right over everything. I probably could sponge the gold, but I think on that one an airbrush would be a better choice, and then go in with a brush and some things to get the real details. That seems to be a very popular kit, so I want to make it more approachable for people. I guess maybe not approachable. Airbrushes can be non-approachable. Um, Attractive to folks. And then when the time comes and for the other one, I'll likely do sponging on that one. Alright, now. So there's a Gundam store kind of near me. I was talking with them a couple weeks ago, and I probably mentioned this before. I'm kind of leading up to something though. Yeah, said that artifacts became less popular here, at least at their place, and possibly in the US in general because people had to paint them. And I'm thinking, well, if I could find easier ways for people to paint them, would they like them more? And that got me thinking about this sponge thing, or, army painters got their speed paint markers that recently came out. And maybe I'll try speed paint markers at some point in the future. I think that would be an interesting way to get people interested. Interesting way to get people interested in painting these and keeping them if they could do it more easily. And not gonna lie, I think it would be kind of cool to be able to use use a pen, essentially use a pen to color in over, I don't know, maybe a couple gray colors. Alright, so with this, I'm going around the edge first, because that's going to be generally the highlights. And I'm going to leave that middle blank for a bit, just to see. And this is the front. So I want to build up here. Got an Orber new scribing pen. How long do those things normally last you? I mean, you do much bigger kits and a lot more intricately than I do. I'm hoping that the ones that I've got last me a good long time, since I'm seeing the benefit of pre-scribing on this kit right here. The little details that I didn't do that were too small have gotten filled in, but the stuff I've done did did myself are still going strong. And question for you, is the music playing? I went back and, like I always do, rewatched my the one that went up today or recently. I think it went up today. You know, these live things, YouTube schedules it themselves unless I tell it to go up at a different time. And I could actually hear the music, 'cause I can't hear it through OBS. All right, and I'm finding myself here kind of switching. I was kind of painting one way, and now have started painting it like I'm doing appreciated aircraft. That's what I get for having all this aircraft stuff on it. You don't hear it? Okay. I'll turn it up here in just a minute. How do I do it there? Okay, yeah, it's kind of like how I'm doing it. Alright, let's get the music up. Okay. I don't want to put it up any higher than I have it here, just in case there's something weird going on and it blows other people's ears out when they watch the video. Okay. I like how this is coming out. I'll probably say that a bunch because sometimes it just works out just right on a part. I'm like, wow, that's really good. It's amazing to me how 4 colors so far have made quite a difference in how this thing looks. And yeah, I have decided that I'm going to kind of use this as the base white. Part of me wants to do a black wash over everything once it's all done, just to see, but I don't want to ruin the... I don't want to have to go back and repaint over a bunch of stuff just to assuage my curiosity. Oh, it's pre-downloading a new game and building the FA while having minor crash out with pieces on the chest. That was my previous experience building the tall geese. That was a bad day. Thankfully, I've got a brand new one, and then the other one is in good shape. I can just take off a little peg, and you wouldn't know any better. Transformation. Yeah. That makes things complicated. I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did, so okay. Okay, sorry guys, I gotta take my glasses off. They're causing problems, and that means I'm gonna have a little bit of difficulty seeing the chat. There we go. Okay. Here we are. Alright. That's a little better. Let's clean this off. And back in. Man, this is looking kind of grainy in some places. I may have to take pictures from farther away so people don't see it. I'm like, oh my god, man, that's some grainy dry brushing. No, it's grainy sponge painting. It's called texture, my friend. But I like it. I guess I kind of am dry brushing with this in a way. fun kit to build, but have a lot of pieces to put together for something very small that is just a component of the chest. Yeah. I watched, it was MS Paints in one of his older videos where he did his first Gunpla builds, and seeing his reaction to the quality of the um, engineering and everything, even for, I think he was just a high grade. He he did a high grade, and his one of his friends did an entry grade, and we're both amazed. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling right now. I was blown away when I saw my first artifact. And I was even more blown away when I looked at the model I have left for next month. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun build. And I'm going to be using my airbrush a lot on it. That's not something I normally do. I normally prefer just to do hand painting like this. The airbrush definitely has its benefits. But when it comes to miniatures, there are a lot of drawbacks too. Like, I can't control exactly where it all goes, so I can't avoid panel lines and things, and they can get filled in and such. So on these little kits, it's nice to do things by hand as you can, but it certainly makes the process faster if you're trying to get a lot of models ready for a game or something. I'm just glad that that kit's fully, for once, I'm glad that a model is fully colored and I know what I can do. I can just put it all out there on the sticks, paint them all, and then go on to the next color and bloop, 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 bloop. normally I get water-based panel liner. If going with paints, all of that, but for straight builds with minor paints, I mean, I'm going to paint the entire thing. So I'll be using acrylic paints through my airbrush to paint the whole thing. And I've got a few enamels that I can use, various kinds. So I'm set for things that I need, which is good. It's just the practice of actually building a full-size kit that I haven't done in ages, which I'm looking forward to. Actually, I'm going to do two kits. I'll most likely be using the Army Painter, the Fanatics, Warpaint Fanatics for the newer one, and then the Gallery Gloss Airbrush paints for the older one. Because it was, on the box art, it looked like it was hand painted with enamels, and it's a 33-year-old kit, so you can imagine what that might look like. And it might be kind of fun to kind of simulate that a bit. Alright, back to a little bit more of this ash gray, just a little bit. And then we're going to get all experimental up in this place. Not really experimental. I'm just going to try using a different sponge in this holder and see how it works. Maybe I can get better detail with it that way. Almost out of paint. So I was saying in the last stream that the speed paints I've got are, well, the Army Painter speed paints, the named branded speed paint, not contrast paints. Are the 1.0 version, and I've been really thinking about how to use them well on this kit, because they can do some really cool things. Like if I blend them and use the reactivation and bleeding properties to my advantage. Like, let's see here, I don't know, let's just take these two colors. They're pretty close, but this would be a nice bluey overtone. Like if I did it on here, I could color that blue and maybe put some gray down here in this portion, and where they met, they would like naturally blend into each other, which I found happened when I experimented using the silver bullet suppressor. So something like that, like using them like watercolors, I think would look really neat, and they could potentially tint, be really nice tints as well. Alright, now we have to go over here. Grab this little guy. Soak up the water. And then remove water. So funny how that works. Let's get it all nice and wet and then squeeze it out. Don't want too much water in there. But Dad, how much is too much? You'll know when you see it, kid. Okay, Company Gray, which is the second to last in the gray flexible triad. I have some matte white for uber highlights and things. What game is it? Yeah, see, that looks like just straight up white on through my eyes here. And just a little tiny bit on the tip. Be really careful with it. So I think this area is supposed to be blue and yellow. Duet Night Abyss. Like, oh yeah, Warframe. Yes, I have heard of that. Okay. This is what I meant by getting experimental. Cutting it in half. And grabbing my grippers. Cutting it in more than half, maybe. See if this will work. Nope, gotta get even farther down the line. Ooh, that's kind of nice, and that gives me little bits to mess around with too. All right, here we go. We're going in. Oh yes. Yes, 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 that's nice. That's lovely. Gotcha. The name kind of Duet Knight kind of gave that a little bit away. Well, it's not that that's a bad thing. Just sounds more like a rather anime name. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is bring the brighter whites or brighter grays down into each other, like build it more of a center thing, but also in these areas that are supposed to be white, kind of fan it out a little bit to give the white look, because there is a lot of gray. Definitely hitting the edges. So we're getting some interesting layering of the colors, which is pretty neat to me. But we've also got some nice contrast. So this is the Sentinel gun. I don't know. All I know is on the box it said Gundam Ex-S. So I guess Sentinel, yeah, maybe. Is that what the S is for? I guess that would make sense. If there are various EXs, then having an S for Sentinel. The Japanese do like to name things like that. Okay, this is starting to get really grainy. I may kind of stop with this. Let's see if I add a little bit more water to the sponge, what'll happen. That's better. It was just getting a bit dry. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I can look up color schemes better then. And folks, if you're allergic to any of the components of these acrylic paints, don't put them on your skin like I am. Okay? Be smart. Wear a glove. Know your allergens. That's a very important thing in life. Boop, boop. Oh, wow. That's a lot of kits. But you've been building them for a long time. So that's helpful. Okay. Somewhere along here. How do you look? Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Boy, okay. Alright, yeah, I'm probably going to have to go eat here soon too. I am feeling the lack of food more keenly than normal. So I think we will call call this an early night. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's always good to have your company. And look forward to more of this. We're getting close. We've only got the company gray, and possibly I will probably hit these with an actual brush. Maybe. We'll see how it looks like after drawing. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your food. And remember, folks, that this is a hobby. If it doesn't... Hey, Josh, I was just leaving. I'm sorry, bud. It's, yeah, it's been an hour and I'm getting really hungry. But remember, dude, your tanks, your infantry, they're a hobby. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. Or find another way that does. Be good to yourself, my friend. Bye bye.